Welcome to Sermon TV. The identity of the Antichrist. A common belief throughout the history of the Church has been the notion that the Antichrist will be of Jewish origin. This view is still somewhat popular in our own day. However, upon closer examination of prophetic texts dealing with the Antichrist, we find no real scriptural basis for the view that the Antichrist will be a Jew. In fact, the Bible seems to teach just the opposite. The Antichrist will be of Gentile descent. 5 proofs that the Antichrist is a Gentile. 1. Biblical typology. The Antichrist is seen in the biblical typology of Antiochus Epiphanes, who was a Gentile Syrian ruler, which came out of Alexander's army and empire, Daniel 1 verses 36 to 45. Since Antiochus was a Gentile ruler who was typifying, previewing the coming Antichrist, Daniel 11 verses 21 to 35, it stands to reason that the prototype of Antiochus, who is the Antichrist, will also be a Gentile ruler according to Daniel 11 verses 36 to 45. The actions and movements of this past Syrian ruler reflect the actions and movements of the Antichrist, which are revealed in other texts of Scripture. What the Syrian ruler did the Antichrist will also do, as the prophetic texts reveal. Therefore, after speaking historically of Antiochus Epiphanes, Daniel 11 verses 21 to 35, the Scriptures immediately speak prophetically of Antichrist, Daniel 11 verses 36 to 45, without adding any explanation that the text was moving away from history and the past ruler of Antiochus Epiphanes, to prophecy and the personal Antichrist who will live during the end times. The typology of a Gentile ruler, which reflects the work of the Antichrist, is one convincing argument that the Antichrist will also be a Gentile. 2. Biblical imagery. The 7 heads, Revelation 17 verse 9 and 10, on the beast vision are presentative of the 7 consecutive Gentile kingdoms and rulers which have spanned the course of Earth's history. They represent the course of world history as it pertains to Gentile kingdoms and rulers: Egypt, Pharaoh, Assyria, Sennacherib, Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, Persia, Cyrus, Greece, Alexander the Great, Rome, Julius Caesar, and a revived Roman Empire. Antichrist. All 6 previous kingdoms and rules that were part of Earth's history are revealed as Gentile kingdoms and rulers. This means the final head or kingdom and ruler will also be a Gentile kingdom and king, who is the Antichrist. Here is the biblical imagery. The Antichrist will rise out of the sea of Gentile humanity. He will follow in the train of Gentile nations and kingdoms that historically have had all Gentile rulers. Daniel 7 verses 1 to 4. The past Gentile kingdoms with their appropriate Gentile kings are clearly represented in Daniel 2 and 7. The succession of world powers in the past were all Gentile empires, and these empires will eventually merge into the final form of Gentile rule, which is the Antichrist and his revived Roman Empire or kingdom. Antichrist is connected with the same line of Gentile world rulers and is actually seen following in a successive or orderly line with these previous Gentile rulers. Daniel 7 verse 17. 3. Biblical prophecy. According to the prophetic scriptures of Daniel, the Antichrist will be a Roman prince, the prince that shall come. Daniel 9 verse 26. This verse identifies the coming Antichrist as a Roman prince, not a Jewish king. His origin and identity are linked to the people who destroyed Jerusalem in AD 70. Of course, these people were Gentiles. The people in Daniel 9 verse 26 were Romans who invaded Jerusalem under the leadership of Titus, the Roman general which ransacked Jerusalem in AD 70 and who later became the Emperor of Rome. Antichrist's Gentile identity is further verified by his emergence from the same geographical location as the other 10 horns, Daniel 7 verse 8, which are stated to be 10 future kings and kingdoms that are somehow linked to the historical Roman Empire, Daniel 7 verses 7 and 24. He will arise as another king within the boundaries of the old Roman Empire and rule these 10 kings, Revelation 17 verses 12 and 17, as a Gentile ruler over the same area where the previous Roman Empire existed, Europe and the Middle East. Eventually, the Antichrist will rule this union of Gentile nations and become a final Gentile Caesar that persecutes Israel. Daniel 7 verses 8 to 24, Revelation 17 verse 12, 17. The prophetic word necessitates a Gentile ruler that will rule over a resurgent empire of Rome in the end times. 4. Biblical facts. Many older and recent writers see an Assyrian connection to the nationality of the Antichrist with a rebuilt capital in the land of Iraq or Syria, Revelation 17:18. In other words, he might be an Arab. Bible prefigures Israel's enemies during the NT when the times, which precede the kingdom blessing, it uses the figure, the Assyrian, Micah 5 verse 4-7. These references have prophetic overtones attached to them and envision a future day when the world's armies converge together to fight with the Antichrist in order to destroy the Messiah, Revelation 19 verse 17-20. The leader of this confederacy of powers will be an Assyrian ruler. Antichrist's prophetic connection to the land of Assyria cannot be easily dismissed, Isaiah 30 verse 31:8. We also can confirm that Iraq, Syria, and Babylon in the end-time scenario, Isaiah 13 verse 17 on, will play a key role in Jeremiah 51 verse 7, Zechariah 5:5-11, Revelation 14 verse 8, 16 verse 19, 17, 9, 37, 42. An Assyrian Antichrist, who is of Grecian or Arab descent, with his headquarters in a rebuilt city of Babylon, does fit into the sockets of Bible prophecy. It is not a far-fetched conclusion when studying the link that the Antichrist has the land of Assyria in the end times. Second, this man of sin will be unique from all other men and religions. No matter what his nationality, he will despise all previous pagan gods of his ancestors. Daniel 11 verse 37. This means the Antichrist will not be privy to Muslim theology and teaching. Third, the Antichrist will only use religion and rulership of the world in his popular peace diplomacy to gain. Revelation 17 verse 3. He has no interest in any other religion, Jewish, Muslim, or Christianity. Fourth, the Antichrist will not have to worry about the Muslim nations surrounding him, since many of them will suffer a defeat in the mountains of Israel as the tribulation period begins, Ezek 38:39. Fourthly, by the middle of the tribulation period, he will fight against all those who oppose him, including Muslim nations, and become the sole ruler over the earth, Dan 11:36-45. Even today Muslims fight among themselves all the time and kill their own people. 5. Biblical teaching. The Bible clearly teaches that the Antichrist will continue a cycle that is termed the times of the Gentiles, Luke 21 verse 24, whereas a Gentile ruler, he will persecute the Jews and seek to destroy them. The times of the Gentiles, Luke 21 verse 24, refer to the Gentile domination over Israel, which began when King Nebuchadnezzar took the southern kingdom of Judah, 2 Chronicles 36 verse 1 time. Ever since this people have been under Gentile dominion or lordship. The image in Daniel chapter 2 was designed to teach this truth about the times of the Gentiles. This Gentile cycle will be finished at the second coming of Christ, when he will crush the final form of Gentile domination over the Jews. Daniel 2 verse 44. The key to Antichrist's Gentile humanity is found in the nature of the times of the Gentiles. Since the Bible teaches that the times of the Gentiles do not end until the second coming of Christ, it must mean that the Antichrist is the final ruler during the times of the Gentiles. Since this is true, how can a Jew be a dominant world ruler when the Gentiles are foretold to hold power over the Jewish people and the entire world? A Jew leading up a final form of Gentile world power is an impossible scenario. A Jewish king could not be a supreme ruler in the times of the Gentiles. Instead of this unlikely scenario, the Antichrist will be in the same line of world rulers who have historically dominated the Jewish people of God. This line of dominant Gentile rulers is called the times of the Gentiles, since they are world powers and rulers that were Jews. Don't forget to check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and may you be inspired to live out your faith boldly. Until next time, take care.